guys, Jonah here, back with a beer review, and yeah, this one I found in the Tesco supermarket the other day on special offer. Um, so it might be a bit random for my general audience, but have a look. It is this bad boy, Erdinger Alkoholfrei, but if you look on here, it's a Weissbräu, a wheat beer, which I think this is kind of crazy. And this was £1. And it's a huge can, I believe. In fact, yeah, 50 centilitre, so almost a pint. And the alcohol, it does actually say it's 0.5%, which in UK speak, and I guess in Europe as well, in German speak, means that it's alcohol free. It's not strictly alcohol free as such, but yeah, not bad at all. Got to be a bit careful because this one was very tight and it has not been in the fridge. I know. I usually say I put beers in the fridge, but this was such a big beer and in size, and it wouldn't quite fit in the fridge, unfortunately. I'm being careful opening this bad boy. Man, the can is really, really thin. I can feel like the tab kind of tearing through the top. So it's an alcohol-free Weiss beer, or no, did they call it Weiss? Weissbräu, yes. So it should be a bit hazy. Let's get this bad boy. Okay, it is definitely a bit fizzy. We'll get this into a glass and then we'll drink through the foam. Probably won't get it all into the glass. But yeah, this is usually the one I do, and this is a non-nucleated glass. This is the one I usually do for lagers and stuff. My God, look at that. I mean, the amount of carbonation, I shouldn't be surprised. Really, really super clear. And gonna do that, which is bizarre. No secondary fermentation on this bad boy. And I have opened the Untapped page. So I'll hold this up and I will read what it says. Erdinger Alcohol-Frei is a great tasting non-alcoholic wheat beer, the ultimate sports and fitness beverage brewed in the traditional way. Well, I don't know if I believe that because it's non-alcoholic. It says Erdinger Alkoholfrei is the perfect balance of minerals, vitamins, and carbohydrate to restore and hydrate your body after a tough workout or game. Wow. So they're talking about this beer being yeah, being a sports drink. You know, I mean, it's super, super clear. And yeah, I don't actually know how they get the alcohol out of this. There are many different ways that it could possibly be. I'll tell you what, for a wheat beer or a Weiss beer, Weissbrau, that's superbly clear. It's absolutely ridiculous. The overall score on this bad boy is 3 out of 5 on Untapped, which, yeah, it's not good, but it's kind of above middle, if that makes sense. My kind of middle ground is about 3.5. I usually, if I've got no alternative, because I think beers are good in general. Well, I was hoping that epic head would kind of dissipate a little bit, but it has not. But look at it, fluffy, fluffy white clouds abound on this bad boy. Let us get in there. We'll see what it tastes like. Cheers and beers. Okay. Whoa, itchy nose. Okay, so it comes across quite sweet. Maybe that implies that it hasn't gone through a proper brewing process, or the brewing process itself, the fermentation, has kind of been halted a bit early. It's sweet, malty kind of background. Yeah, not really Yeah, not as much like a lager as I thought it was going to be. Some of the other ones I've tried, I guess the what's the best one? Heineken, is it? Yeah, Heineken alcohol free is probably the best lager out there. And the best beer overall is probably Guinness alcohol free or Guinness Zero, whatever they're calling it these days, because it tastes almost exactly like Guinness. If you didn't know, if someone had poured you it and given it to you and not actually shown you the can, you would be very, very hard pushed to tell that it was an alcohol-free beer. And this one, because of the sweetness there, the residual sweetness, a little bit too much for me. Obviously, I'm battling the diabetes, so any kind of sugars or itchy nose. I need to cut my nose hairs. That's probably something you don't want to know, dear viewer. Um, but yeah, the carbohydrates especially are, yeah, bad for you. Not so bad, I guess, in beers because, well, I guess drinking loads of beers is probably bad for you, but shh, don't tell everyone. Um, but yeah, drinking pure sugars, it kind of gets absorbed into your body quicker. Alcohol, obviously, your body has to convert it back from alcohol into carbohydrates, i.e., sugars. So it does get back into your system, but it's an extra kind of burning process. Um, but yeah, sweet. I'm trying to pull out the hops used, but I'm having real problems. There's because of the high amount of sweetness. Pardon me, there is carbonation there. Did I tell you about that? About the head, which is still hanging around? Absolutely ridiculous amount of head there. Um, yeah, this beer is basically a kind of sugary, weird thing. And I've noticed some alcohol-free beers, well, a lot of alcoholic beers, alcoholic-free beers, taste really sweet. Um, Yeah, which is not like beer. Beer in general, unless you're getting a real malty bad boy, and that's usually when you're getting a really strong beer, they kind of use the sweetness to balance it out a little bit. But they haven't done any balancing with alcohol-free beer. Well, they haven't in this case. And I found that a lot. In ciders too, alcohol-free ciders, they're just really sweet kind of pop drinks. It's just, yeah, it's weird. It's like drinking some sort of diluted, concentrated drink. Do you know what I mean? It's just overly sweet, and that's kind of what we've got here. Yeah, it's weird. It's like a malty, syrupy kind of juice. Um, yeah, I would much prefer. I mean, I know this is supposed to be a Weissbräu, they've called it, um, a wheat beer, and there is some wheat taste in there. There definitely is, but they've left it, for me, they've left it a tad sweet. Um, Yeah, maybe that's what's making it a kind of energy drink or whatever they call it, a sports fitness drink. Yeah, just very bizarre that you would call a beer a sports fitness drink. Although I remember a guy called Alan, no idea if you watch my videos at all, but if you do, hey Alan, how you doing? Who I used to work with, and he used to run marathons, and he said anytime he was in Europe, you'd run a marathon and then you'd go to the bar and drink a few beers. And he said it was quite beer is quite an isotonic type um, drink, so it gets energy back after you've done extreme sports like a big level of sports. It gets back into your system. Just don't drink a really strong version. Um, yeah, would I really recommend this? No, I would say the Heineken one is much better. Even at £1 for this can, which is basically a pint, so £1 a pint, is usually really good in my book. It's difficult to find these days, but not impossible. There are some deals to be had and offers to be had. However, yeah, I would stick to a more clean macro lager if you're going down that kind of route. Like I say, my favourite one so far is the Heineken one. If you're after an alcohol-free beer, that one is the closest to real beer that I've tried. The rest, as I say, are a bit too sweet for me. But there's Erdinger or Erdinger Brau, alcohol-free Weissbräu. Where are they from? Are Erdinger from? Look at that, Isotonic, Isotonic, vitamins, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, it's from Germany. I'm thinking, I can't remember if it's one of the ones from the Black Forest or not. I cannot see. I probably should have looked this up earlier on, dear viewer. Is it going to say it in German? It probably is. Yeah. So who knows, dear viewer? If you do, why not drop it in the comments down below, and I will finish this beer off, and then I'll be back, with a more higher in alcohol beer review, and that's going to come up real soon.